MERICA. Welcome in, moniker. Missed some streams. Welcome in, No Name. How you doing? I'm doing all right. It is MERICA Day. Jump Rope has the boy, so I can stream. So we're gonna stream early. We're gonna try to get some stuff done. Every 4th of July reminds me of how much of an annoying child I was. So I used to wake up at like 7 a.m. and start blowing shit up. Launching fireworks everywhere. Back when fireworks were fireworks. And it's probably why my hearing's screwed up. None of that today. None of that today. Today we're drawing rugby and D&D characters and being responsible. Being responsible. How's everybody doing? Oh, I am not awake yet. I'm not awake yet at all. Go to the gym in like 20 minutes, won't stay that long. Nice. I miss having a gym. Because I lived and worked at the university for like 10 years, and they had a really nice gym. And before that, I had a gym membership that was like $8 a month. Cannot find that here. That was all I did for like 4 years. Wake up, go to gym, wake up, go to gym, go to work, go home, go to bed. It's pretty good. I played lots of World of Warcraft in there in between, but one of these days I'm gonna get a pull-up bar. I don't have a pull-up bar around here. I also need a weight rack. That would be good. I have a bench, but if you don't have the weight rack, the bench is less than ideal. I added some new things to the Spreadshirt store. If you want to buy mugs or stickers, go there. Oh. Eventually, Dalcourt, I'll get the Ruxedo store set back up so we can sell some actual stickers. That would be cool. I have so many little projects. Like I would love to get to start making custom stickers specifically for that purpose. Like make fun little things. But I've been so busy lately that I haven't had a chance to do the regular stuff, like making the stickers for the Patreons. So we'll try to get back to that. The game is functional right now, but I'm trying to add controller support before I give it to people, and that is turning out to be a much more pain in the butt than I thought it would be. So I should have tried to make that work first, and then I should have instead of having to retrofit it. Can I suggest a Reverend Kenku Bard? Yeah, we can do that. It's on the list. Can I make this not night mode? You forgot about that. It is a viewer suggestion. That is what we do. That's what we be doing. There we go, that's a pretty good rugby. Okay, I think we're ready. Oops. We're ready to start rolling some dice. That is that rugby has some wingspan on. Got them big old ears. Big old ears. Happy America Day. I should just talk like that for the rest of the stream. That's why I should have put the the chat thing. Yes. Oh. Okay, here we go. A Rockling Barbarian? Oh, okay. I'm glad you put the... Is that from Daggerheart, or is that just a thing? Paste. An undead sumo wrestler. Wearing a kimono with ceiling symbols. Okay. We can do that. World of Io. World of Io. I don't know what that is either. Shoot. I've been missing stuff, apparently. The podcast for D&D stuff? Interesting. Fun campaign with lots of people, got popular via shorts. It's actually rather enjoyable and chill. Nice. I haven't seen that one yet. I started rewatching the root playthrough of Tales of Adventurous. I like those guys. They're fun. Part of the suggestion on this was dangling eyeballs, but I think that might get me in trouble, so I'm gonna maybe not do that. We'll find out. But also, like, I was thinking, like, zombie-ish? Torbeck is funny. Yeah, Torbeck is funny. This is supposed to be a revenant, right? I think it said undead. Yeah. But if it's a sumo wrestler and they're undead, they've got to be like a zombie, not a skeleton, right? Because if I give them a skeleton, you can't. It won't be a sumo anymore. They'll just be tiny. It'll be a skeleton. Yeah, an undead sumo wrestler, long black hair. A bloated corpse or a ghoul. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Got a whole bunch of little seals just like stitched into the shirt. I don't know any of the actual what seals should look like. I only have Naruto in my head, so we're gonna go with that. Little flyaways here. What could I do to make the face look more? I guess if I could really go hollow on the eyes. Make the skin look a little more saggy. Did I make the shoulders too low? Yeah, that looks a little better. Let's do that. Yeah, what? How does that work with do sumo wrestlers have bravado? Because you're right, I don't think I've ever seen a sumo wrestler, I'm gonna say, acting up like you do with the MMA fighters when they get all like all riled up and stuff before a match and start like yelling at each other. I assume that's not part of the sumo. She's been based about on for. We could go real aggressive with the seals. Let's do that. That could be really fun. Make it look like a crime scene. That's got a different connotation than I meant, but I'm sure there's a Naruto character that actually looks like this. I just have no idea who it is. Should we put some on his forehead? That could be funny. Yeah, I don't know if there's, from what I understood of sumo, like it's not like a traveling thing, right? Like basically the people that would be fighting all live in the same place and train together all the time, right? I guess Japan's not that big, and there's not like a uh, world champion sumo wrestling, or maybe there is. Phillips, welcome in. Happy America Day. Okay, I think we're about done with this guy. I don't know what else to do with him. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Where my bins at? I missed the introduction. Kind of looks thaumaturgy. It's supposed to be an undead sumo wrestler, so we're gonna put him over there. We'll see how that goes. Try to make him look big. It's basically another form of martial arts, but yeah, just the best way to describe the best of my knowledge of luchador and towns having regional wrestling matches. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Robo, welcome in. Would the talismans be the reason he's alive, undead-wise, or would they keep him under control from someone else? You could go either way. That's actually a really cool way to think about it. Because you could have them be a mindless undead that someone has like given free will to with the talismans. Or maybe the talismans are like keeping the corpse from decaying. Yeah, there's lots of fun things you could do with that. I'd be okay with that too if you were doing the reason you were reanimated, right? Like, so that you have like a magical talisman that's keeping you alive or keeping you animated, and then if you died, like that gets knocked off or something. There used to be a lot of really fun things you could do with undead because they didn't have constitution scores, which I'm a big fan of, and so that would be a really fun way of like, to extend that, they didn't have constitution scores, so when you went to 0 hit points, you were just gone. You weren't dead, you were just like no more. So I'd be totally down with having a talisman, and if it breaks, the character is just gone. It makes the character seem a lot more like dangerous to play because you can't get back up. But like they had a lot of bonuses going for them to give them that. Things like they were immune to anything that had a constitution score like check for it. They didn't need to breathe, they didn't need to eat. Like it was pretty great. Immune to poison and disease. But if you ever lose your hit points, dead. I could also be a Duskwalker being kept from full undead by the talisman. Yeah. I dig that. Bonjour, big, bulky, cool-looking winged gargoyle man. We did the gargoyle man. Welcome in, Corvus.
Good morning, people.
Is that from Shaman King?
Shaman King?
Yeah,
Yes.
okay. That is what I was thinking about earlier.
Yep.
That's great.
I would have known that because the Larry just popped in. Because the Larry just woke up.
Now I kind of want to put a talisman on his forehead. No, we don't need to do that. Happy America Day. We've been having fireworks since last night, so.
Yeah. It's mostly kind of quiet. But
Shoot, what was that drawing?
nah, it's gonna be annoying.
Yeah. We live pretty close to the sound, and since all fireworks are illegal here, people just buy the biggest fireworks they can and launch them into the sound. So,
Legal or illegal?
Everything is illegal. All fireworks are illegal here.
Hmm.
I just hit me.
That's
Sorry
just
about that.
un-American. I'm kidding. It makes no sense why fireworks would be illegal in a big city.
Yeah. Like I don't think it's actually enforced. Is kind of the other side of it.
Yeah.
It's not really well enforced. There's just they have the laws there so they can blame people for lighting shit on fire. I totally forgot what I was supposed to be drawing. Oh, gargoyle.
Gargoyle. Bulky. Big.
I might do something a little weird. Just like get really grotesque with it. Why not? Weak. I definitely have some like Firecracker and M80 horror stories. So I'm not too when I was like 18 or 19, they started putting restrictions on a lot of fireworks in Idaho. I was really like, that's stupid. That's dumb. You should be able to do that. But retrospectively, as an adult, it's like, yeah, you know what? It's fine.
Yeah, it's not illegal here. I really don't know. It's probably not. But as someone whose family has shot off fireworks because of two of my family members at their birthday, basically on the 4th. So we just had a big birthday party and shoot off fireworks.
That sounds like
Normally. It sometimes is, except for whenever you have to host it and you have to spend all day cleaning and setting up tents and everything. But we've shot off fireworks that have tipped over from their little, I don't know what you call them. They're like the little mortars and the little tube.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the little stand has tipped over and shot them at us.
Yep.
So I was like,
you need a board and a box to secure those things from the wind.
Yeah.
This is my TED Talk. How not to kill yourself with fireworks. We've also had that happen. We had one. Our neighbor was doing that. We had one launch underneath a truck and explode. That was fun. We thought the truck was going to be on fire.
Yeah, that also had happened to us.
Yeah, I think it's pretty common.
I remember one. I think it's probably happened 3 times, and one time it headed towards the rest of the group, and everyone just like jumped out of their chairs and everything and hit the ground. Yeah, no.
I miss firecrackers. I feel like if firecrackers had better fuses, they would be safer. Because you buy a pack of firecrackers, and they have one long fuse, and then a whole bunch of tied, basically instantaneous fuses. So if you give that to a young kid, it basically turns into, instead of you lighting the whole thing, which like you're supposed to, it turns into 1 billion like half-second fused firecrackers that are very dangerous. Very dangerous. Don't do that. But there's so much fun stuff you can do with those. That is too enticing for a young child.
I want those. I like some of those. I only know them from China. They're the little. They almost look like rib cages of fireworks. So they're a big long string with alternating little firecrackers on them.
Yeah. This is
and you light them, and they just make loud noises, basically.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You can take those apart.
Okay.
I think those have been illegal in the U.S. for 30 years, 40 years now.
I know cherry bombs are, basically.
Cherry bombs are bigger, round, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait.
Because people used to put those in mailboxes.
Phil wants to know if you can join the Discord. You are welcome to join the Discord. Yeah, that's firecrackers. Those are the actual firecrackers. Philip, you're allowed to join the Discord. Everybody's muted except for mods. Corvus is a mod, so co-host.
Yep.
I remember as a kid, I stuck a firecracker down a manhole cover and looked down to see what would happen. Surprisingly, didn't lose an eye. Yeah, it's terrifying. Terrifying. That's what I'm saying. They're super dangerous.
This isn't meant to be mean, Phillips. It's just it used to get real chaotic in the early days, and so it's just to keep the streams chill.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about the firecracker thing. Oh, yeah.
No.
Correct. Yeah, it's a moderation thing.
Yeah, it's just we used to have anyone join, and
we started getting like
Sundays
10,
we've had like
people.
30 people in, and you can hear anything.
people would start just fighting each other and talking to each
Yeah.
other, and it's like, hey, we're having a show here. So, luckily, I'm still able to just talk to chat, which is something that does not happen in a lot of other live streams. If we ever get that big, we'll cross that road when we come to it. But for right now, we're just doing what we do.
Because I know, like, some people, like, they'll try to, like, answer questions if they, like, see them, but, like, all the times they will only take, like, super chats.
Yeah, and the other moderator way I've seen a lot of people do it is basically one person is kind of just talking to chat, and then everyone else is talking. But we don't usually have ordered discussion. Like, we're not trying to do a podcast thing where we're talking about one thing the entire time. So that's not
normally
a problem. But then we could have one person do that, and while the rest of us are drawing and stuff. But I like taking it pretty chill. How would you handle a character with no arms? I'm about to play a PF2 character as a dragon who's thinking about being an amputee. Well, it's a fantasy game, so there's a lot of options for that. One, I mean, like, regeneration works, right? So why ain't got no arms? That's one thing, just like trying to find someone that can do that. You also have automation, like lots of options for making mechanical arms or arms out of tree branches. I've seen that before. That was good, where like druids making replacement limbs. Alternatively, you could go the psi route, where you have psionic blades if you need to use like some kind of weapon. Magic that requires you to use somatic components? That's not right.
That's right.
Verbal, somatic, and then what's the last one?
Material.
That's what I was missing. Materials. Yeah, somatic components. You would have to make an argument that to use the somatic component, you'd have to like use your feet or your wings. I'd be fine with the dragon using their wings. Maybe their tongue, eyebrows, whatever. You just have to talk it out.
Yeah. Or you asked if you could have an item that just allows you to have permanently magic hands.
Yeah, you could do that. I would allow people to
that's
have...
that's just a cantrip. That's not even like a game-breaking spell. It's just like...
Yeah. The question is, can you use Mage Hand to cast the somatic component of a spell? Debatable. Right, it would be taking you 2 actions to cast every spell at that point. But like, that's kind of interesting. That's an interesting way to do it. And then from there, like I'm saying, so, or hold a staff to cast with the staff. Yeah, the staff being the focus. Keep it in your teeth. Maybe it's a hairpin. Maybe it's that. Like, there's lots of ways around it. Really, the thing you're looking at is, do you want the fact that your character doesn't have arms to be a detriment, or to where it actually affects the mechanics of the game, or is it just for flavor? And both are optional. You just have to talk to your DM about it. I like taking challenged characters like that, like when you give your character something that requires you to kind of figure out the mechanics differently, which is why I like large sized characters, like large or huge sized characters, because it's like they have to interact with the world differently, and that adds some challenge to it. But at the same time, it is a fantasy game. There's no reason that should hamper your character at all, unless you want it to, right? Like that's the big thing. So, like, there's a great example of this is in, KOTOR, the original KOTOR game. There's a Jedi that's missing an arm because Jedi like to lop each other's arms off, and it does not stop her from using her lightsaber at all. She just holds it with the Force, and it's totally fine. So yeah, it's actually an interesting question, because if your hands and arms are tied up, and a spell requires a hand and arm movement, would other appendages work, like tongue and finger? So there are feats that let you do that, and that's what I'm getting at, is like if this is part of your character, like it's an interesting thing that you want to explore to answer those questions, I would say for a normal person, someone who is just a regular character that has no additional background effects at all, being tied up is enough to prevent you from casting those spells, right? Because it's something that is a detriment. You've been tied up, that is being attached. Now, if your character is used to it, I would say maybe not, right? So like they're already accustomed to that, they're adapted to that. You need to figure that out for your character beforehand.
Another thing is, depending on what type of caster you are, so if you're a sorcerer, you can basically be using subtle spell all the time, because that just allows you to cast spells without any components or like requirements.
Yeah, and so that's where I would argue that if your character like just loses an arm, you're gonna have to take that feat, right? Like you're gonna have to figure that out. But if you're saying, hey, my character is not gonna have arms, I think they would have spent their life while they haven't had arms learning to cast their spells again through subtle spells. Like, cool, I like that. Like that's a good trade-off, right? That's the thing you're trading off. And then later on, if they get, like I said, mechanical arms or regeneration, they probably retain that, and that would be cool, right? Like that's a cool thing. Or it could be, the explanation of the feat. Like, hey, I'd like to take this bonus feat where I get subtle spell all the time, and the trade-off is I have a mechanical arm that is different somehow, right? Because that explains the bonus. You take a detriment, you gain a bonus feat. That's generally how it looks. I look at it. So, oh, it's just a dragon with wings, not amputated. I'm sorry, I misunderstood. Then yeah, like that 100%, right? If this dragon wants to be able to cast spells, they either have subtle spell as a passive, innate magic, and the trade-off is that they can't pick up swords. Like that's it. It's done. I think that works great. This is maybe a little bit too buff of a gargoyle. I guess the gargoyles from Gargoyles are super buff.
Yeah.
Why was that made by Disney? Holy crap.
Because it was...
Were they just trying to ride the
90s?
Yeah, okay.
They were definitely trying to compete with, like, Warner Brothers, like, kind of action shows that they were putting out, like...
Who made Ninja Turtles? I guess it was Ninja Turtles, Street Sharks, and there were a whole bunch of those. I like giving them a sword, and then somebody counts as a wand. You could do that. I like the idea of like sword wands. I think those are fun. Maybe they're not as robust or as... I mean, you wouldn't be proficient with it as a sword, most likely. You'd be proficient with it as a wand.
So the first...
The other...
I don't know who did the first one.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I'm not sure who did the first one.
Okay.
The first animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It just says Fred Wolf Films.
I want to say it was like Bandai. Mattel, maybe?
Let's see. What other stuff did they do? They did Puff the Magic Dragon, Strawberry Shortcake, the Chipmunks. So they may have just been kind of back when you could have independent TV shows.
And then
then
animation studio.
Yeah, because then you have the two, uh, the ones that came on as CW for kids.
Right, but that was
That's kind
just
of one I grew up
yeah,
on.
that was just local stations buying rights to cartoons
Yeah.
until they started their own channel.
Well, it was them. The one that I grew up with that's in 2003
Yeah.
was done by 4Kids Entertainment.
Okay.
So they did a lot of dubbing
Yeah.
shows. Like they brought a lot of the Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh shows.
Yep. I know what you're talking about.
Barrage Studios was the main
Interesting.
people.
Something else to think about where my bin's in with dragons. I like the idea that most dragons just have meta magic feat passively. Because most of the upper echelon dragons are essentially sorcerers that also take points in wizard. Like
Yeah.
you get a ton of innate magic, which is great, and then you can also learn magic. So I love dragons that just subtly and like without word or form polymorph, right? Like that's super high level. But depending on the age of your dragon, because if you are starting at like a level 1 character, maybe it would make more sense if you didn't have those meta magic feats, and it would take rolls to cast those spells. But no, I don't know. It makes more sense to me that you would just innately be able to do it. I don't have a problem with that. That being said, maybe you use your whiskers, and then if your whiskers get tied up, you can't cast. There are lots of options.
So I've sort of started watching Gravity Falls.
Good for you. It's good.
And when I mean sort of, I'm watching someone's reaction to Gravity Falls because I'm like, I don't know if I can fully commit to watching it. Also, I'll watch someone watch it and react to it.
Interesting.
I know it sounds ridiculous.
Not how I would have thought that, but
Yeah.
I mean, if you
They,
just
like-
sit down and think of it like an anime, then you just watch it. It's good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm also a person who can like rewatch reruns easily without caring and still be surprised by endings.
Yeah, that's good.
So
No, I'm not worried about it being spoiled or anything. It's a kid show.
I particularly like this person when they do like reactions. It's funny, so it's like
There's nothing wrong with vicariously doing things through other people, right? Like that is how YouTube works, and I'm totally fine. Like there's a lot of games that I really enjoyed, but I haven't played, if that makes sense.
yep.
And so much so that like I'll watch Jacksepticeye play through a game, and then I'll watch Markiplier play through the game, and then if the game comes to play, like I'll watch that game again. Like that's fun to me. I like that.
Yeah.
Gravity Falls nice. Yeah, Gravity Falls is a treasure. Like, it's a hidden gem in the Disney lineup.
Yeah, I've got about halfway through season 2 with this person.
Oh wow. There's only like 3 or 4 seasons. I'll get you, Stanford Pines.
God, Gideon. Gideon is
The worst.
a piece of work.
Yeah.
Yep. He really is just Donald Trump before, not really before Donald Trump, but there's some heavy influence of Donald Trump on this kid.
Yeah. I mean,
And I don't know if it was intentional.
no, this
or
was way before
clairvoyant.
that. This was way before that.
I think the part that I started to enjoy, because I was always kind of like hesitant. It's like, oh, there isn't going to be any continuity or anything like that. And now I'm like in season 2, I'm just like, everything is connected.
Everything's good. Yeah, like they did a really good job of doing that. That's great.
My only thing, I think they could have handled the references to Bill Cipher a little bit more subtly, other than just ham-fisting triangles with arms everywhere.
Oh, but like that was the fun thing about the show. Like while the show was going, people were like trying to solve the
code at the end of every.
Yeah, there's basically a huge like cryptography thing going throughout the entire show, and so like that really got people into it. So every time you see the Bill Cipher, you're just like, oh, it's not 4. Why is it there? So that was part of the. I don't think it's necessarily important to enjoy the show, but like that was a big part of the show while it was going. You know. Like,
apparently
community was really big talking about it.
Alex Hirsch, the creator and voice actor for the show, he has been writing supplementary books for it.
Oh, cool.
So not recently, but 6 months ago, he put out a book called The Book of Bill, and it's all about Bill Cipher. And it's for adults only.
Alex Hirsch had a lot of issues with Disney because they kept censoring his stuff, and he wanted it to be a darker show. Like he wanted it to be more like Twin Peaks or X-Files, but they're like, no, it's a kid's show.
I was gonna say it's still pretty dark.
It's still pretty
dark.
dark.
Super dark in season 2.
Yeah. Watch some of there's a whole series on YouTube of emails between him and Disney where people just read those emails, and they're really funny. Supposedly, I've never actually gone to look for it, but apparently Alex Hirsch used to do a lot of more adult comics and stuff. Like he's talked about it, is why I'm bringing this up. But he's when you're a starving artist, you do whatever you got to do. So he's relatable. Alex Hirsch is very relatable, and I think he writes some cool stuff. So, and there's even Rick and Morty, Owl House, and is it Owl House? I think it's Owl House. Maybe it's.
But she
Amphibia.
was also in both of those.
Watch Owl House, watch Amphibia, watch Rick and Morty. Apparently, there's those shows keep throwing things back and forth between each other. So
so
some Gravity Falls references.
Alex Hirsch is also a voice actor.
Yeah.
And he voices King and Hootie in Owl House.
Yeah.
And he's also a voice actor in Amphibia.
Yep.
And is a voice actor in Rick and Morty.
Yeah. I
don't like Rick and Morty, so I'm never touching that with a cattle prod.
Sorry to hear that.
I hate. It's fine. I just can't deal with that humor.
Boys,
it's just
chump. Yeah, and long story short, Alex Hirsch as basically he's put a little bit of all of those things into the other shows to try to enrich in the worlds, and it makes the continuity way better in my mind. To think that
so there's 3 books. Gravity Falls Journal 3.
Okay.
Gravity Falls Lost Legends, which both were published by Disney Press. And then the one that came out in 2024, so last year, The Book of Bill.
Rolling dice. An old witch lady. No, old lady with glasses. I don't know where our witch came from. She came from rich.
You
Oh,
think
there we go. Oh, her class is a sorcerer, witch, archmage. Okay, so I did read that right the first time, and then I read it wrong. Old witch with glasses. Back then, nobody knows Bill Cipher, so it's easily overlooked. That's true, yeah. First time watching it, like when it was coming out, no one realized that Bill was a real character. Is that the owl lady? There was no mention of an owl on there. Is it an owl? Oh, it's supposed to be an owl lady instead of an old lady? Okay. We can do that. That's fine.
Uncle Stan.
Uncle Stan's great.
I'm not sure how I feel about their other uncle just yet.
Which one are we talking about?
The-
I guess
it's fine. It's about 10 years old.
Yeah.
Ford,
Okay.
Stanford, and then because they thought Stanford was Grunkle Stan, but that's Stanley.
Yep.
It's like, oh god, twins.
The
The guy with 6 fingers.
The main characters are twins.
I know.
Okay.
But they're fraternal twins. I can tell them. I mean, I can tell the other two Grunkles apart, but it's just that their names are ridiculous.
Have you gotten to Seuss's girlfriend yet?
Yes.
I thought that was pretty funny.
So the person I'm watching, his name is Danny Mata. He's a pretty big reaction YouTuber who does like stuff for like anime and stuff like that. And he was like, he generally loves like the weird character development that or unveiling of Seuss throughout their show, because he's like, I used to think Seuss was just like a chaotic being that just popped into existence, or just someone who was not born, just has always been Seuss.
Gotcha.
It's like, no, he was a kid.
Yep. Kid Seuss is great.
And like you find out like his full name is like, oh, he's Latino.
Mm-hmm.
He has a little abuela.
This is his abuela. Oh yeah, I was talking about the crazy one moniker. Wait, was this supposed to be a sexy owl lady or an owl? Actual owl. The term owl ladies makes me think it's not an owlin.
Did you draw sexy owl ladies?
I draw sexy owl ladies all the time, but they're not owls. They're elves. Go watch my Why You Should Play an Owl video. I'm gonna start over.
Motherfucker. Not an Alan, more towards the human side of it.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna start over.
Also, for a moment, Danny Mata, he was also convinced that like um, Mabel and Nipper's parents were dead. That's why they're never there.
Oh.
But then they call them up, or like they call Grunkle Stan one day. It's like, oh, okay, never mind. Not that dark then. At least not yet.
There's some fun stuff that happens in that show. I like it. I do have a gripe with some reactionary YouTubers. Sounds like this guy talks quite a bit, which is good.
Yeah, he's talked about how like there are certain anime that he just enjoys too much, but he cannot react to because he
just
can't.
watches them.
Yeah, he just watches them.
Yeah.
And so like he just can't react to them. Or he gets bombarded with copyright.
That was the thing that surprised me, that he's watching a Disney show. I would have thought that they would have gotten.
But apparently, you can watch it for free on YouTube.
Oh.
Full episodes.
Interesting. I wonder if
could be wrong.
like I said, Alex Hirsch was pissed off at Disney. Like they fought a lot, so it wouldn't surprise me if he retained the rights to it.
Because I searched Gravity Falls yesterday, and like one of the first things I saw was.
Well, just because it's on YouTube doesn't mean it's supposed to be. So take that with a grain of salt. See if it's actually from Alex Hirsch's channel. Or
It's
not.
Disney Channel Animation.
There you go. Yep. Yeah, so it's there.
It looks like it only has the first season, though.
Gotcha. I think Gargoyles got erased from existence. I don't know.
No, Gargoyles, if you have Disney Plus, is on there.
It's on Disney Plus. That could be why. It feels like it doesn't exist anymore. If it's.
It sadly is behind a paywall.
Yeah, and anything on Disney, like Disney is very aggressive about letting that stuff leak out.
Yeah, litigious.
Litigious, that's the good word.
There is, because Disney has put everything on Disney Plus, minus like a few racist movies that they did.
Okay.
No, they may still have those.
They are. I think they're
there.
up there. Just they have disclaimers.
Yep. But like they have the old '90s Disney show called So Weird, which used to freak me out all the time.
Sure.
And it's kind of like X-Files for teenagers.
Yeah. There was a whole bunch when X-Files was like super popular. There were a bunch of like attempts to make something else. I guess it was X-Files and it was
Twin Peaks.
What? Twin Peaks,
Twin
yes.
Peaks.
Sorry, I misheard you and I was like, what are you trying to say? But it's Twin Peaks is what I was looking for.
I did kind of mumble it, so.
I thought you said like Twin Pig and I was like, what is Twin Pig?
Waddles, but it's this twin solving crimes.
Neil deGrasse Tyson voices Waddles in an episode.
I know.
That's so
That
good.
freaked me out a little bit.
It's such a good
Also,
episode.
apparently,
too.
John Oliver's in it
Yes.
at one point.
Yes, yes.
Excuse me.
I realize now I'm just drawing the lady from He-Man.
The Hawk Lady.
Yep. Can't remember her
whose
name.
name is escape. Yeah, same.
I need a good bird face.
You're referring to like the sorceress, right?
Yeah. Yep.
She's just called the Sorceress of Castle Grayskull.
There you go. That's why I don't remember her name. She don't have one.
Oh no, she does. Telia Na?
Great.
Yeah.
Now you're just making up words.
All words are made up.
All words are made up. All names are made up.
Not my fault.
The universe is a simulation. Everything's a lie. By Gold. I really want to give her elf ears. As is my usual. She's supposed to have glasses. I forgot to give her glasses. Hold on a second. I think square glasses is going to make more sense. Maybe I'll kill some of this. Some of this hat thing I got going on here. Still give her a quite pointy nose, which is fine. Except now if she's got glasses, she's got to have ears, otherwise the glasses will fall out. Feathery elf ears? Yeah, we could do that. It'll make a lot more sense. I mean, none of it makes sense, but it doesn't matter. It's fine.
As long as it makes sense for you and the audience.
Mermendo. Erie, Indiana was another one.
Don't know what you're talking about, sorry.
Don't worry about it. It's just another one of the, like, what if we made the X-Files into a kid's show?
Oh.
Ghost Rider, if anybody remembers that. That was a weird one.
Ghost Rider or Ghost Writer?
Writer. Writer. There was a ghost that would write in these kids' journals and they would solve murders.
Yep. I remember watching that.
Okay.
I was just making sure I heard you correctly, that's all.
Ghost Rider's different. you heard from Druid this week? I'm worried about him.
Yeah. Apparently Druid had family over.
Oh, that's right. No, he told me that last week. I just totally forgot.
He did message the group chat yesterday. So
I'll have to check that. I have so many Discord servers, I get lost sometimes. You don't notice when things ping. Maybe we will discontinue that. I tried to get the controller set up to work yesterday.
mm-hmm.
Now 2 days ago, and it didn't. So I rebuilt it yesterday, and it didn't work again. So now I'm on my third iteration. I'm very frustrated with it. Just gotta keep trying. The biggest issue I'm having with it is that, like, if I let people use a controller, how do they place towers? Because I need a cursor, so I need my controller to control a cursor. And I'm either gonna have to do that or change the way pearls and stuff are equipped as well. So it's a big old process that I've didn't plan well enough in advance for. Which happens. I think we'll probably give her a staff and then call this one done. What time is it? 10 o'clock? Been going for about an hour. Big old bangly wristbands here. I'm a big fan of the hip wings, even though I know they're stupid. Maybe for this one we'll just do big old wings down. I think we're just gonna call it there. Infer wings. Hi, kid. Good morning. What's up? You upset that you have a diaper on? Yeah. Okay. He just looked at the floor and then just like blank. Just like ate it. It's like, I'm gonna put my face on the floor. I'm still tired. Poor kid. Okay. Let's do this just to clarify what's happening here. And then we'll give some glasses sheen. And then we'll call it, I think. Yep, that'll work. Flurf! Flurf bird! Did I put it on the... God damn it. Oh, her face is a little crooked. Hold on, I can fix this. Chin to the nose, to the top of the head here. Oops. Gotta raise the eyebrow a little bit. Do that. There we go. That looks better. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. I miss doing commissions on stream. That was fun. But rarely do I have, 3 to 4 hours to just sit down and work on something. A Spanish vibe lizard folk with white stone gauntlets. He's a Gorgon, but he has legs? Gorgons aren't lizards. What makes something that looks Spanish?
Short coats.
Short coats? Okay. I need a Spanish lizard. What's a good Spanish lizard?
Let's see.
I was thinking of a Spanish newt, but I don't think that's actually Spanish now that I think about it.
Let's see. I'm Googling one here. Or reverse Google searching. There's the Iberian emerald lizard.
Sure.
Kind of interesting looking. Another fluffer.
Ocellated jeweled lizard.
Yeah. That.
Super generico. Here we go. Square nose, round head. Eyes right here. That's a good one.
That's the emerald one. This is the ocellated jeweled one.
This one does not have the eye bumps, but that one does. I would love to start doing like nature drawings, but I don't know why I would do that. Brian, welcome in. Happy America Day.
Go to the park and draw the squirrels and pigeons.
Yeah. I'm not great at that. Partially I think it's just because my eyeballs suck, but... How are you doing today, Bri? I like the waddle on this dude. Gotta check I'm not getting notifications. That's interesting. I started streaming at like 9, so like an hour and a half ago. Got places to go today, so I wanted to get the stuff done early. Plus jump rope is home, so it's like I gotta take advantage of that while I can. Got a little onesie, kid? Got butt pockets today. Yeah? Gonna hide stuff in your pockets? I've never seen him wear a onesie before. It's really funny. Gonna need to go back to design the site.
Rakshasas.
I still don't know how I'm gonna make this guy look Spanish. Coats. You said short coats, right?
Yeah, you know, like it's like a short, very short breasted coat, almost like a tank top coat.
No? Oh, wait, like a vest? I was thinking of like a
No.
matador vest. Matador? But I don't know if that's... Is that actually Spanish? Yeah, that's Spanish.
Yeah.
Running of the Bulls happens in Spain, right?
Yes. At least used to. They may have outlawed it now. I can't remember.
Due to colonization
No.
and living in Idaho, it blends together real bad for me. And I don't know where things happen in the world. Because I'm uncultured.
There was bullfighting in Mexico.
Okay,
It
okay.
has recently been illegal to do so.
Could be a flannel and a bib soon. Is that what you wore as a kid? He's got pants. He wears real pants. Oh, hot damn. I gotta do it. Here we go. We gotta zoom out a little bit. We gotta give him the long collar, make his neck even bigger, which I think is hilarious. Give him a big poof. And then one of these. I dig it. I don't think I'd ever wear one, but I dig it. Most Spanish back in Renaissance have mustaches. You know, I do a lot of weird shit. For some reason, mustaches on lizards is where I draw the line. I don't know why. I just put T-Taws on an owl. So, like, you know, I'm not a... What's the opposite
Well,
of
they're a lizard. They're not a dragon, so they can't grow hair.
Dragons, I would give a beard. 100%. Lizard folk, though. No, thank you. I'm going to give this guy super floofy sleeves, though. Well, it's raining again. That's not good.
It almost rains all the time here on the 4th.
I was a menace. Even now, I'm thinking like, I should go get some dry ice. But I can't talk about that stuff on YouTube. I will get demonetized so fast. I need to write a book. Things I did as a child that you should not do today, and how to do them, as so you don't accidentally do them. I still don't know if the anarchist thing that I can't talk about is legal to talk about or not, or to buy. That's what I'm saying. Like, people need to know the bad things not to do, you know? I'm not saying anybody should. That is such a big hat. I kind of dig it. Yeah, that's kind of what I was talking about, Brian. Like, you can't buy fireworks around here, so if you want to buy them, you have to, like, go really far away. And usually buy them from, like, a reservation or something. Florida has them in every retail store. Yeah, the only thing you can buy here is like little pop snaps, and you might be able to get sparklers. I'm not sure. Those you can buy in like grocery stores. I didn't see them this year. Honestly, I think all fireworks might be illegal this year.
Just go find you an anvil and blow it up.
Blow up an anvil? That sounds dangerous. Why would you do that?
Because that's what people used to do for 4th of July.
Oh.
Before
launch them into
fireworks
the air.
became really pop. Yeah. There's some places that still do it.
I also do just miss living in Idaho, where you could just, for the 4th of July, you could just drive out in the middle of nowhere and shoot stuff for fun. Can't do that in Washington. There's too many damn people. There's people everywhere.
Yep.
Idaho sounds like Texas. A little bit. I mean, Idaho was essentially like the what's the word? The libertarian capital of the world for a while.
And a bunch of just crazies live there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they kind of lived there at the time. Idaho was the basically just nobody lived in Idaho. That was the biggest thing. So, if you had ideals that maybe were kind of offlandish and people didn't like because you were kind of an asshole, you'd lived in Idaho.
Yep.
And now all the people from California moved there, so it's even more of a shithole, but it's fine. I miss it. I don't want to live there anymore. I don't think I would move to Texas, though.
No. Like, I think the only arguably nice place to live in Texas would probably be, city-wise at least, probably Austin.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's the biggest thing. It's like, I just don't want to live in a city anymore, I think.
Yeah.
I've never really wanted to live in a city, but, like, Seattle's was kind of the place to be when I needed to move. Detroit's still home, wouldn't go back. Exactly. Yeah. That's the vibe. It's the same thing with Idaho for me. Sometimes you just gotta get out, you know? Just gotta go. Nothing wrong with that. You want to visit North Dakota? Don't know why. It's not a bad place to visit. I have some family that lives there. It's too hot in the summer and too cold in the winter, so. I hate small towns. I want to go out the front door and step onto a highway. Yeah, I'm the opposite. I really want to like step out my front door and not see another house. That would be nice. But to counter that, I like being able to, drive 10 minutes or 5 minutes to a grocery store. That's nice. So. There are drawbacks.
Oh, yeah.
And benefits to both.
Or you could go. I don't mean the suburbs, but like the outskirts of small towns are often pretty remote.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
like,
there's just not
find you a nice town that's like, I don't know, 30 minutes away, where you can still get to a decent store. I don't know if that really exists out west though. So
It does. The problem is that Jump Rope's commute's already an hour. So moving farther away is not beneficial. Gotta get that YouTube fuck you money, you know? Large town, small city next to the forest are for me. Yeah. Okay, I think I'm done with this guy. It's 10:30. Probably do one more. I think we can do one more here. And then I gotta go get ready. The lift growing up in Detroit, I was out every night with friends till 3 a.m. See, I did that in Idaho. I think that might just be a youth thing. Like, mind you, some of my like late nights were sitting under street lights or behind buildings at skate parks and stuff. So, conquistador lizard, yeah. Peg-legged half-elf warlock who channels his magic through playing cards. That means I gotta draw legs. Which means I put no detail in the face.
do like the Twisted Fate thing, just vague out shape of the face.
Give him a big old hat. Elves love Magic the Gathering. Yeah. Warlock I don't want to do. The cards make me want to do Cowboy, but the Warlock makes me not want to do Cowboy. So maybe we'll do... I kind of dig the Poncho idea though. So maybe we will go a little more fistful of dollars than not. Idaho is talking about trying to sell off all of its private land, or public land, sorry, which it spent the last like 50 years cultivating and protecting and being great. And then all the weird California MAGA people are like, what if we sell it to people so they can build on it? It's just like, Get the fuck out of here. So,
Yeah.
if that happens, I might
People
have to
suck.
try to like, I might have to try to buy half of Idaho, start a petition or something, like, and then just give it back to the people.
We can't have this commie land in our state.
Does the warlock have any weapons? So he has cards. So I assume. I think I might be getting tired. My drawing stamina has decreased from not drawing 4 hours every day. My poses are getting weaker. Let's see if we can get something sharp going on here. There we go. That's better. Cultural vacuum that all sucks. That's funny. I went to a wedding here a week or two ago. Last weekend, I guess. It was last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't realize that it was supposed to be like a Ren Fair wedding.
Oh.
I was like, oh, I could have dressed up a whole bunch of different ways, and I didn't. But there were a ton of people there that, like, God, their costumes were great. Like, they had really cool. I was just basically walking around staring at people's boots, seeing how they made their boots. And I was like, oh, that's great. That's a really cool mechanism for how you have your boots attached. I forgot about that stuff. Like, I forgot about costume design because I haven't done it or looked at it or been near it for so many years. I do want to do, I think I want to do more craft stuff, which I think will be easier once the kid is a little older.
Mm-hmm.
Because then I can, like, film building a mask and he can play with clay or plate or whatever. So we'll see how that goes, but yep, we gotta give him a hat. But I think I gotta remake a new mask because the bird has become so ever present on the channel. Gotta make a bird mask, I think. Bird skull, probably pretty good. Did Druid say no games tomorrow, or did he say games tomorrow?
He was asking if people are going to be around for games tomorrow.
Gotcha. You should be around. So I'll answer that when I'm done here. Yeah, okay. I gotta go make lunch for the boy. I think we're probably gonna call it here. His arm is way too long, dude. Good lord. I'm definitely losing it. I'm definitely losing it.
You have lost the plot.
Lost the plot. I did the poncho, but then I made the poncho a torso. Alright, we're gonna try one more time. We're gonna try one more time. I didn't want to have to draw feet today. I think is the problem. My brain's not calibrated for feet right now.
Could just ignore it. Ignore the foot.
Yeah, I think we might just do a torso here. We'll see what happens. Because I think I want to draw the cards. Like the cards, I think is going to be the important part. The kid is getting like way too smart, but also he refuses to talk, which is also troubling to me. Work texted me that from asked me to fix it. I had a manager once tell me, he's like, hey, I need you to go back to doing this old job that you used to do. And I was like, I don't want to do that. And like, that's not my job anymore. He's like, yeah, I need you to do it. I'm like, well, I don't want to. He's like, well, I'm scheduling it for next week. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to go boating. And that day, he's like, hey, why aren't you at work? I'm like, because I'm out boating. He's like, what? I'm like, I told you. If you scheduled me for those shifts, I'm not going to come in. I'm going to go boating. He's like, well, then I guess just don't come in tomorrow. I'm like, sounds great. And then that was it. So I don't know if I quit or if I got fired, but one way or another, I stopped working there. Sometimes you just got to put your foot down.
Yep.
I need this store to finance my retirement. That's true. That's fair. Have a good day. Thanks for hanging out, Bri. We'll catch you later. I guess it was unclear. Oh. Oh, you need the shirt store to finance your retirement? That makes sense. Gotcha. Okay. I love me a good poncho. I don't know why, but I love them. These ears should really be in shadow. They can go to a different computer or call a repair service. I'm too busy. That's fair. It's a day off. No, I want to do Pinky Up today. I guess this finger would be over here. Could do that. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get the peg leg in. I think this is about as far as it goes. Is a non-parental unit is a little man's preschool age yet? No. Nope, not even close. Not to mention, I do not have the funds for preschool. Childcare in Washington is bananas.
Y'all don't have free Head Start?
Maybe. I think preschool, like if we're talking about like pre-K, I think it might be. But there's actual preschool, and then there's like basically what is essentially daycare. So. And he's nowhere near those ages yet, so.
Yeah.
The only thing he would be available for right now is daycare, which we're not doing. No, he doesn't have a job yet either. Freeloader. Okay. It's about 11 o'clock. I think that's about all we have to do today. Hey, there's some good suggestions on here. There's a few left we haven't gotten to, but I gotta get going. Oh, I gotta stretch too. I'm gonna go get lunch made. Then we have to take off for some family stuff. And yeah, so thanks again for hanging out today, everybody. Be safe on America Day. Don't do dumb stuff. Plan things through all the way as much as you can. Have 2 or 3 escape plans.
Yep. And drink lots of water.
Drink lots of water, yeah. Squarespace is harassing me. Yeah, Squarespace is kind of a shit show. I had a Squarespace account for about 2 months, and I was like, nope, never again. So, we'll see. I think you have to have like a dedicated functioning shop first, and then maybe go to Squarespace. It's super easy, but like they charge you like $50 a month for a lot of stuff. So who knows? Thanks for hanging out today, Phillips. Thanks, Brian, for coming in. Thanks, Corvus, for hanging out. We'll be back next week. We'll put the post up on Monday for more character suggestions. I'll post all these in the Discord so people can use those for your home games and such. And other than that, that's all I got. So stay happy, stay healthy, keep your dice on the table. We'll catch everybody later. Bye, everyone.